It should not have been omitted that previously to completely stripping the body of the Leviathan, he was beheaded. Now, the beheading of the sperm whale is a scientific anatomical feat, upon which experienced whale surgeons very much pride themselves, and not without reason. So half of Moby Dick is about sailors going crazy on a boat. And half of Moby Dick is just like insane, random scientific jargon that's also not accurate because it was written in 1880.
As accurate as you could hope for the time, I suppose.
Hey everybody, welcome to Read Weens, where we're talking about Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
Yep.
Which I just learned today was out of print when he died.
Yeah.
It's not a popular book until 1910, 1919, something like that. When somebody was like, this book's rad.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. It's a little ahead of its time. Like all great art. It kind of goes unappreciated during the artist's lifetime. And then the second they die, it's like, oh, fuck.
Apparently when it was published in Britain, it was like, yeah, this is solid. We like this. Americans hated this book.
I wonder why.
Apparently
Coming out 10 years before the Civil War.
It also was pretty hard to parse for most Americans.
You don't?
And I'm going to be honest, it was a little bit hard for me to parse.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I'm not.
I had to switch over from reading to an audiobook for a bit, and then I would jump back and forth just because I was struggling, because I would read an entire chapter and go, what did I get out of that? Like, not just like enjoyment-wise, but I'm just like, I don't know if I comprehended it, or...
Yeah, to be honest...
I get into like a flow state where I don't think I was actually reading.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I have ADHD. My eyes would glaze over during a lot of the fucking
I
whale
moved
fact
4,
ones.
yeah.
And it's like, some of them have like really interesting things to say, like the fat cutter one, and there's like one where he gets into like the whale skin and the blubber, and he's like arguing over like where that line is between the skin and the fat, and he's like arguing what is what, and that kind of like gets into like some of the themes of like, you know, beneath the surface and whatnot, and I don't know. I could see how it's like kind of thematically relevant, but like, and the fat cutter chapter, here, you mind if I open this up?
Go ahead.
The fat cutter chapter has like, it's like I know where the fucking fat cutter chapter is. Let's see. What the fuck is it? The split say? Anyway.
So the fat cutter scene. Well, Thomas is looking for that.
Well, because it's talking about like kind of like isn't that like also talking about like authority on the ship, and you know kind of like meant to like whip in the shape, so cutting the fat in a sort of sense. So it's like
it's interesting because sometimes when they're talking about whale facts, they're also talking about something else.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they're just talking about whale facts.
Yeah, and it's really hard.
There's a chapter where they just name every whale.
Yeah.
And that's the whole chapter. I was like, okay. And it's just like, okay. I will say I'm already kind of hating on this book. I did like it. I like the book. But it was just like, a lot of it I was just like, I think I'm baffled at this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel like I'm getting anything added to it. And maybe if I cared about whale facts, then I would be like, oh, cool, a chapter where they're naming every whale.
Yeah, I mean, there certainly are points where the whale facts definitely, like, for as big as the book is, and depending on, like, the span in which you're reading it, yeah, it can be a little abrasive, but, like...
I think that was when the first time the whale facts came on, I'm like, I might need to switch to audiobook. Because I was just reading, I'm like, I've been reading for 4 minutes, and I'm still just reading whale facts.
Yeah, when it came to that sort of stuff, if I could parse out something thematic through like what he was trying to describe, it's like, all right, I'll try to take this in. But if it was just kind of seemed like vanilla whale facts that might be out of date, I was like, oh, just gonna kind of go with the flow here.
And I do think there's something to parse, like there's something to pick up on some, like just from a cool like world perspective, being like, oh, it's fun to see how out of date some of this stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not fun if I do it every 20 minutes. So
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, yep, got it, done this before.
But it certainly does like paint a picture of probably like the whalers' world at the time, which it certainly does. Like they go on whole spiels about like Ishmael has a whole chapter where he goes off on like the kind of like nobleness of like the whale hunting profession, and you know how it's responsible for all these great achievements like charting the oceans, you know, all the benefits it had to the pre-electricity society, which true, but like it also kind of gets in, I mean, obviously underneath the surface of all that is like the theme of like the exploitative nature of our progress in society as well. And you know how it's the sperm of the whale that like is used on the king's crown or whatever during the ceremony. I don't know. I read Moby Dick quite a while ago, but
they're
definitely like
today.
Oh,
well, so I had gone through it, and I had read almost all of it.
The dynamic changed a little bit. Usually, I'm the one who finishes it.
Well, so months ago, I was 3 chapters from being done, and I'm just like, oh. The whale just showed up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm just going to wait until the actual day that we're going to record. Because I was like, okay, we just had to postpone. I think it's going to happen again. I don't want to be out of my element. So I'm at least going to remember the whale scenes.
Yes.
Because also, yeah, he shows up 132 chapters into a 135 chapter book.
Yeah. No, the thing that you think like...
Moby Dick's not about Moby Dick, guys.
No, Moby Dick is... you know, famously a symbol. Now, what he is a symbol for, people have been arguing since. And clearly there's no, like, definitive one answer. He's a symbol. He symbolizes many things to many different characters in the book and to many different readers over the years, but... God.
What I was so shocked by reading Moby Dick is how not uninteresting, but, like, I think that Captain Ahab is maybe the least interesting character on that boat that we spend time with. Maybe it's just because I've known so much about Captain Ahab, and I'm just like, yeah, I know exactly what he's going to do at every point, kind of thing. While I'm just like, I think that Starbuck and Ishmael and what was his friend's name?
Queequeg?
Queequeg, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are all, like when Queequeg's like, okay, I'm gonna go die now. Mm. And then he just gets up. He's like, I think I'm fine, actually. That was awesome.
No, I reading that chapter, because I knew, you know, Queequeg is gonna die, because, well, at least I did, because I knew everybody except Ishmael dies. I don't know if they prefaced that earlier in the book or not, but they certainly allude to the dark path that they're on plenty in all the foreshadowing and whatnot. But, like, what's it called? But yeah, Queequeg just kind of gets sick and has like the carpenter of the ship like build him a casket, and then like he's like laying in the casket and gonna die, and then like just kind of like
he's like, I've decided not to die.
It's like, wait, I remembered I have something to do on land. I can't die yet. And then they're like, wait, you can just will yourself not to die? I was like, I think anybody can will themselves not to die, unless it's like clearly you get snuffed out of existence by like a much greater
Thanos.
Force. Yeah, like Thanos.
Or Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. Moby Dick, Thanos, kind of the same thing if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Moby Dick, that's... Captain Ahab was right. Moby Dick is trying to destroy half of humanity.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, Ahab's... I could see why you would have that perspective. I found him to be a pretty interesting character. It might have been the Shakespearean filter over him, because Melville was a huge student of Shakespeare. Yeah. There's plenty of Shakespeare references throughout the book. Plenty of like Ahab speaks almost like a Shakespearean character a lot of the time. Yeah. They're in,
which makes him sound insane. Like, yes. Because everyone's talking like a normal person.
Well, yeah, he is.
Well, yeah, but it makes him sound even more insane from the moment you see him.
The guy lost his leg and was delusionally barely hanging on as he floated back to Nantucket.
And then he's like, oh,
and
I have to spend the rest of my life trying to kill one whale.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot to this book. It's a fucking Leviathan of a novel itself.
Yeah. I think that I'm going to return to this in like 10 years and enjoy it substantially more. I do think I liked it, but I just think that, it's one of those books that you sit on and you think about and then you revisit.
Absolutely. Although I think I'm going to hop into it maybe immediately again.
Okay. Because you're already 10 years older.
Yeah. No, it took me 10 years to read this book. I'm not going to rush it. It's just going to be one of those things where it's like, I'm going to pick it up and slowly read back through it again. Because, I found it really interesting, and I'm already hankering to kind of dive back into, like, some of the early, like, I love I think my favorite slice of this book is also the beginning.
When, like, Ishmael meets Queequeg.
Yeah, like, their whole, like, journey to Nantucket and, like, staying at the different inns and...
I would agree. I think I was really interested in the book in there. And then once they got on the boat, it kind of lost momentum for me.
Yeah,
I think it gains it again. I think there's some substantial, like, really good chapters. And I love the final 3 chapters of the book and the epilogue. Mm-hmm. But it's just kind of like it's like a wave. Oh my God, it's thematic.
Yeah, that and with classic novels, I just kind of throw caution to the wind when it's like, I agree. Like like when it comes to things like momentum in the novel, it's like they were not about momentum in their story, or if they were, they had a very different sense of it because they were much more wordy bastards back then. So much more elegant.
It's really interesting when I'm reading this because we read Frankenstein not too long ago.
Yeah.
And that book feels so snappy to me. Like, it's such an easy read, and the dialogue's so easy to digest. And then I read the dialogue in here, I'm just like...
To be fair, though, we did read a revised, like, the later her life version, where she went back and fixed it up. And supposedly, I think Percy Shelley had worked on that version a little bit as well. Although I don't know how true that is, because obviously he was assigned credit to that book for many, many years when it was, in fact, my girl, Mary Wollstonecraft. Is that her original name? Okay, never mind. She's not my girl. I don't know her name.
That random lady.
That random dead lady from 200, 300 years ago. When was she? She was like 1797 was when she was born. So that was 200 years older than us. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think that's...
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
You think I got a chance?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where she's buried, so probably not. But...
That's actually a pretty... if I was gonna... There's always that question of, like, if you could have dinner with, like, one person dead or alive, it probably wouldn't be her, but she'd be up there. She'd be probably my top 10.
Yeah, I feel like the stipulation, though, is that if you do have dinner with her, you have to, like, bring her back to life like she is Frankenstein's monster, and you have to, like, stitch her back together.
And then be like, here's your spaghetti.
Yeah, but the movie version with the lightning and stuff. Is that like a Poor Things reference? I haven't seen Poor Things yet.
No. I just think she would like spaghetti.
Oh, okay.
New Frankenstein adaptation's coming out very soon.
Yeah.
And then also The Bride comes out next year.
The Bride.
Yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal's doing a Bride of Frankenstein movie with Christian Bale as the monster.
Okay.
It looks weird.
Yeah, it sounds like an odd choice.
When are we gonna get a new adaptation of Moby Dick? Have you seen that? What is it? John Huston, I think, did a adaptation.
I haven't watched all of it. I did watch a couple clips from it though when I first was reading the novel, I read like basically up until Ahab showed up.
And who's this creepy?
And I felt like I didn't retain much of it, so I like went back and reread that first third of the book, and I fucking was way more engaged with it. Kind of like your attempt with Die Nibelungen 2. What the fuck was that movie called?
Die Nibelungen?
Die Nibelungen. Yeah, this is why I don't pronounce.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway, so yeah, but yeah, so I had watched a couple of the movie clips when I was trying to get into it that first time, because I was like, I need the juice, I need something to entice me here, and I was like, oh, the movie's in color. Kind of. It's like a really gross, like sepia tone.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah, it's like, oh. But I'll probably, now that I've read the book, I will probably go back, and I'm more interested in the mini-series they did with Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I'll probably watch both at some point.
I remember the other thing that took me forever to get through is the introduction to this book is just insanely long.
No, yeah, I don't even.
And, like, there's a bunch of, like, etymology in this that I was like, I should read this. And, like, extracts from, like, the Bible and, like, quotes. I'm like, maybe I should prep this. But then I'm like, I'm going to read, you know, hundreds of pages and immediately forget it. But I did read all that. And then so I was just like, I feel like I read an entire book already.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, very dense introduction for sure. But. Yeah.
I do think, like, I understand why this is a classic. I like the book. And I like the characters a lot. I do like Ahab. I think he's a really fun, like, eccentric character. Obviously not fun for the characters around him, but, like, reading it, fascinating to read.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the white whale has escaped me once more. It's like, are we sure? The whole crew's like, all right, guys, are we sure the white whale exists?
Yeah.
And then they see him like, God damn it, he was right.
Yeah.
And then the white whale is literally just like, kills them. But it feels like a way that the whale is just kind of doing whale things and happens to hit them.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know, they definitely, like, give it a sense of agency that they don't depict, like, the rest of the whales having throughout the rest of the novel. Which... It
almost, to me at least, it almost feels like everyone has now given in to the same delusion, so they're seeing things that the whale's doing that the whale is not doing. Well, like, the whale's maybe fighting back or something, but the whale is a whale.
Well, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, yeah, for sure. But, like, yeah, Ahab definitely, like, plays into, like, sailors' superstitions to get them all believing that they're, like, destined to, you know, stake their lives on this mission if they need to. Like,
yeah.
And so that definitely, like, is a piece of it. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, just the way... I guess we are kind of looking at the book through the unreliable narrator that is
because now Ishmael. It's Ishmael, who has now survived the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, one fun fact. In the British version that released, which I think was just called The Whale, the epilogue wasn't there.
I was going to say...
So,
the epilogue, it feels very jarring and tacked on, because I was like, I read the final chapter minus the epilogue, and I was like, that would be like the perfect ending for this book, but there's an epilogue here, and the epilogue basically...
It's like, don't worry, I survived.
Yeah, which is like...
Well, some of the British, like, reviewers were like,
how does
is he alive? Like, yeah. Because it's like, what? So
I guess that makes sense. I mean, I would have probably just pieced together. I mean, I guess, yeah.
He's a ghost telling God the story.
He is.
There's a lot of references to, like, God and, like, if God's real. So, like, yeah, that could also be an interesting interpretation if that epilogue was not there.
True.
Like, I'm telling, but yeah, he survives and he kind of, like, floats back
to the Rachel, which is the ship that they had come across right before the final encounter with... It's the last ship they come across, the one that was looking for the lost boat with the 12-year-old boy on it.
I do think that the final, like, line of the book in the epilogue is like, they were searching for the lost child and all they found is another orphan or something.
Yeah.
I do think that line's awesome.
Oh yeah, they definitely needed to aim it.
They needed to put the anus into the book more.
Yeah, my brain not working too good. We getting there.
Oh, there's a map in the back of this book.
Ah, cool.
Because I finished this in audio. But yeah, there's a fun little map of the the cruise of the Pequod.
Yep. And yeah, the book's chock full of symbol, like the Pequod itself. Obviously, it's like, black ship named after the Native American tribe that.
Jesus Christ, the amount of explanatory notes in here.
Oh my God, that was like killed off. So it's like, obviously a big symbol for death. Got the big whale bones all over it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the epilogue is literally one page in the book.
Yeah. What is the final line of the previous chapter? It's the
Now small fowls flew, screaming over the yet yawning gulf. A sullen white surf beat against its steep sides, then all collapsed, and the great shroud of the sea rolled on as it rolled 5,000 years ago.
Yeah,
That's also a great line.
Yeah, that one's got big Barry Lyndon King.
They could have just started with... They could call me Ishmael. Here's a story of how I almost died.
Yeah,
that is not what I would actually put. But.
No, but I probably would have included, I survived at some point in this book, and maybe would have, but
maybe when he's talking about it, and they first get on the boat, he's like, and this is the perilous journey that only I escaped from or something.
Yeah, for sure. Because he definitely references everyone else's demise, but not his own. So it's like, clearly you put the pieces together throughout the book that he survived.
Yeah.
Maybe when they come across the Rachel, Ishmael could have had a line where he's like, and this would inevitably be the ship that saved me when I was afloat or something.
Obviously, these are all horrible lines, but
if
we were actually writing it, we could write it a little bit.
This is not even first draft material, but putting the ideas out on the dartboard.
I promise, we're better writers than this.
Yeah, for sure. Except maybe not, because I don't actually materially get anything finished right. But I like to think so. But I don't even know where, I have so much more to say about this book, but I don't even know where to cut into it. What?
I'm listening.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I don't know where to dive in.
Tell me a story, Papa.
Tell me a story.
Dive in, because it's about the ocean.
Yeah. The ocean. I love the depiction of the ocean in here. How it's kind of just that immortal, lasting, never changing on the surface, but yet below the surface is unknowing and terrifying, and I don't know. I'm tired. I don't have.
Thomas is sleepy.
I didn't take specific notes, but there's all sorts of fucking allusions to the Bible, which I have not read in full. I've read bits and pieces of the Bible,
and I haven't read any of. I've seen The Life of Brian, though.
Yeah,
I've seen at least 2 clips from the movie The 10 Commandments. So I think I've
got the gist.
Kind of got the gist, yeah.
But
we should read the Bible for Read Weens.
I was gonna say, feature come back next time for Read Weens when we read the Holy Bible.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No,
It just doesn't seem like a book that I would find interesting.
No
hate. But is it a well-written book?
I'm sure.
Does it read well? In succession?
I'm not gonna say it's got flow or anything, but I'm sure it's probably kind of like how we were describing this, where it's there are points where it's very poignant and on point, and then there are other points where your eyes glaze over. The Bible is probably like that, but a million times more your eyes glaze over.
Because it was written 5 billion years ago.
Well,
by God.
Yeah, 5 billion years. By God. And, translated from Greek and all sorts of different variations over the years or whatever. So, yeah, it's some are drier than others and use archaic language that is, biblical specific. They use, certain terminology for, the skies and stuff. I've tried diving into the Bible a couple different times because ideally one day I would really like to read like the Holy Bible, the Quran, even the
That'll be
Torah.
next year. We'll read every Bible.
Yeah, we'll read every. I want to read the.
Check out a review of the Quran.
Yeah.
That won't piss anyone off.
No, not
Hey, we're reviewing the Bibles in order,
Yeah,
and we're gonna rank them. Let's see how many religious groups we can get just really mad.
Obviously, all of the Eastern religions are S tier, and all of the Western ones are kind of F tier. But okay, anyway, I'm sure there's probably a couple of Eastern religions I'd be like, oh, never mind, down
Downvote.
down. That one's knocked down a peg, but yeah.
So yeah, Moby Dick is kind of like the Bible, is what Thomas is trying to say.
There's a lot. Apparently, there's a lot of Bible allusions on like damn near every page, which makes sense.
Now that I'm done with the book, I will probably go through
The
explanatory notes.
Yeah, because I don't know much about biblical Ahab, but I think his story is about like kind of just he's like the king of Israel or whatever, and just kind of turns his nose at all the prophets who try to like forewarn him of whatever deeds he's doing or whatever, and he's just like, fuck you, and then ends up.
I didn't get a chance to read any of the back of this book, which is just all like cool cross sections of the boats. So now I got more to read. Because I finished it in audiobook format today.
Yeah.
That's what a whale looks like.
That is.
This part's the junk. They just fucking toss that in the ocean.
Amen.
Anyway, if you want to see more of a crazy man who's wanting revenge on a whale because the whale took a limb of his, go see Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, where you will see the return of Paya Khan, the Tulkun.
I don't know what any of that meant, but sure.
So the Tulkun are they're like the whales of the Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
They're introduced in the second movie, and Paya Khan's one of them, and there's a guy who's after them, and Paya Khan rips off his arm.
Nice.
Paya Khan's awesome. He's my friend.
Cool.
Thomas still hasn't seen Avatar: The Way of Water.
No, I haven't.
Because if you watch The Way of Water, you'll understand this book more.
Maybe, but I've also read Dune, which I feel like Dune's like the Moby Dick of like fantasy sci-fi, which I feel like.
I know this isn't the movie one, but this is Reed Weens. But I just watched Lawrence of Arabia for the first time.
Oh yeah,
that movie's just Dune.
I know Dune is very influenced by.
I was watching this. I'm like, that's Paul Atreides.
I mean,
have you seen that movie?
No,
but that movie's insane.
Well, that happened, right?
Yeah, it was real, and it was a biography he wrote. And I'm like, you wrote this down? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
He's just like, and then I ordered my servants to fire upon all the soldiers who were running away in fear. And they just mowed down hundreds of people. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Damn.
That movie's awesome. I do want to read that book eventually, but I feel like the book itself, I would feel like, oh, this is icky. Because he wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it'd probably be like reading like fucking Columbus's diaries or whatever. Which, those are a thing, right? Those are like publicated, right?
Surely.
If I remember correctly.
Surely.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's been years since I learned about Columbus.
I found India! What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?
Although I'm sure it was probably a very whitewashed, like snipped up version of it that we would have read. sure they didn't mention. So then I like told them all that there was going to be an eclipse if they didn't help me, or that
I said, I am your god.
yeah.
And then I used my gun. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
But yeah, I mean, I love this book.
Good.
I don't know where I sit on it in terms of my book rankings. I feel like it could potentially one day don the title of best book I've ever read, but I'm not quite there. I'm not on its level yet.
This guy loves whales.
I do. I just kind of love this book. It's super experimental, eclectic. It's got just a lot of like great literary devices and motifs going. It's really just kind of firing on all cylinders, except for maybe pacing. It could work on the pacing a bit. But
yeah, let's call him up.
Yeah, Herman
Melville. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Next time you write a book,
why don't you take
maybe think about my TikTok brain.
Why don't you take notes from your neighbor, Nathaniel Hawthorne? I think they were neighbors. They were friends at the very least, because Hawthorne was the guy who told him to get into writing books. The guy who wrote the Scarlet Letter.
Still haven't read that. There's a lot of classic literature we need to read.
Scarlet Letter's good.
I didn't love it, but I can see myself loving it in the future. I liked it.
Once you set out to sea and kill some whales, you'll go back to this book and you'll be like, oh, I get it now.
I think we should write Moby Dick from the perspective of the whale. So it's only 3 chapters. She's like, la 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 la. It's like, oh, some guy showed up. I killed him.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I went back to grazing my shrimp or whatever I eat.
But, yeah. But, yeah, I see both sides. I see why it's so revered by so many, and I see why it's so reviled by many who are forced to read it in high school. Although, I think you should be forced to read this in high school. Quite honestly.
I think we just need to force high schoolers to read something right now.
We need to force them to read a lot of things.
We need to ban phones.
We need to ban phones, and we need to ban...
I get it now. When I was in high school, I'm like, these people, they don't get it. They don't get the youth. And now I'm just like, we're destroying the youth.
No, yeah, we've got too many concurrent technologies that are having very negative effects on our society. Yeah. And I think that we need like a Diet Butlerian jihad of some sort, but...
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I would recommend Moby Dick, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
And I am excited to read it when I'm old.
Yes, I'm excited.
Or in like 2 years. We'll see. I have too many things to read.
Yeah, I also need to read more things. But I'm excited to kind of casually maybe work my way through it. I say that now. It's not going to happen. But
I'm going to check in 2 years and be like, yeah, I'm on chapter 2.
Yeah,
I started watching Star Trek again. I'm Thomas.
I got to the part where Queequeg and...
when they met. When they were spooning. When they got really gay at the beginning.
No, that was one of the things. I knew the revenge side. I didn't realize how fucking like kind of progressive the book was for the time, and how much it focused on like the exploitation of like. I mean, obviously, like each of the captains on the ship has like the native like harpooners that they like abuse and like, or basically like, you know, stand on the shoulders of, quite literally at one point.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, so you got like that. You've got like that whole chapter that describes whiteness and the more opposite sense of what I'm sure was, I don't even know if it was like very challenged at the time, but like, you know, you think whiteness, you think purity, whatnot, whereas this book, it's like, no, whiteness is fucking terrifying. So it's certainly very like polarizing for the time it came out, I imagine, seeing as it came out 10 years before the Civil War, but I don't think many Americans read it. Or if they did, they didn't seem to like it, so...
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Right on.
They're like,
I don't know how to read.
What is this Ishmael guy doing? Sleeping in a bed with a guy selling shrunken heads? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Tattoos on his face? Smoking out of a...
What
They're married?
Hell? What the hell?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Close book. I hate Moby Dick.
Burn it!
Why is the book called Moby Dick so gay?
Penis. Holy penis. That's what I would have called it. All right. So next time, Thomas, I've given you two options. You want to read a book? You want to read a comic?
Let's go with a comic.
Okay. Because it's been like a month or two between. I'm gonna have us read 2 omnibuy.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm gonna have us read. I don't have the second one right now, but I'm gonna have us read The Question by Denny O'Neil.
Okay.
The first and second omnibuy of this. I started reading this. A customer at the shop I work at actually was like, "Hey, you should read this," and he let me borrow his. And I read the first 5 issues. I'm like, "Hey, here's yours back. I'm buying this right now." And I've only gotten to issue 10, and I'm like, I want to slow down a little bit, but also I think Thomas will really like this, so I stopped.
Yeah, he's always been a character I've been kind of interested in exploring, but never read. So I've seen him in other things, obviously,
but he also just feels completely different in this. We're gonna read that. Okay. I almost picked The Phantom Stranger, but because I haven't read any of that, and I just picked that up recently.
Yeah, I've never read any of that either.
But yeah, The Question by Denny O'Neil. And Dennis Cowan, I think he also did the second volume, Dennis Cowan, but I'm not sure. I know Denny O'Neil wrote both. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys in, 1 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe Happy New Year. Bye.